back now, can you imagine like all of the shit that they possibly could have like tried to spew or like twist and turn, you know what I mean, about like that whole trip? Because
Yeah.
like they wanted to make it like a few days. They wanted to be there for a few days. Can you just imagine the bullshit, the trials and tribulations,
Yeah.
aches?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I would have to be wrangling both of them. It would have been so bad. It would have been so bad. Thinking back on it now, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it would be fun," but thinking back on it, I'm like, "Oh, no. Oh, no. It'd be hell. It would be literal hell."
I think you dodged a bullet.
I did. I did. I'm gonna
Okay.
go there and have fun with not Becky and Roxy.
It'll be a better time because you ain't got to worry about nobody else. You're just there having fun yourself. The only thing you got to worry about is TTS, but whatever, you can deal with that. You're you're
True.
you're a strong enough person where you can deal with that. So,
I just don't wanna get kicked out of Hershey Park.
yep. So
That would be upsetting.
this is the same stream Jaffe came in and talked to
Mhm.
her about me.
Yeah.
So let's get into that one.
To be on it 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, like coast to coast. That's when the weirdos are up. That's when the fucking freaks of nature are up. Then you get the goddamn Beans and Ken Cafe, assuming he doesn't crash out, because you and I both predicted out of all the people in this universe, he's the one that's probably going to snap sooner and do some nasty things. And I like him a lot. I'm playing Call of Duty.
But I feel the same way as you. Yep, I like him too, but
yeah, he's
lies. All lies.
He's living on the edge.
Yeah.
You know, but like he's one average, you know, war movie away from PTSD being triggered and the whole theater ends up never going home again. I mean, that's what I'm thinking with this guy, but I like him. He's got moxie, you know what I'm saying? But
I didn't even know that he fucking said that.
He said that. He said that.
I didn't fucking know that.
Oh,
what the hell?
I know. Trust me. I knew all this shit. But I'm
sure you did, but this is my first time hearing him say that. I didn't know he fucking said that. Maybe I heard it and then forgot about it, but like that's hard for me to believe because I would have been like, whoa, what the fuck? Like I am now. What?
Yeah, so
that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
She didn't say anything. She just agreed. She didn't go into detail, right? But her and Jaffe spun this narrative of me being the ticking time bomb. And obviously, certain situations I become passionate, right? And people want to mistake that for anger. So now they're trying to paint this narrative and have this picture of me that whenever I want to get passionate about a topic and talk strongly about a topic, I'm having a PTSD attack. Or, you know, or as in Jaffe's words, I'm one war movie away from having a PTSD attack and no one in the theater leaving the same. So what does that mean? What do you really think I would do for that to happen? Truly, you know?
And even if he doesn't believe it and he's just trying to be like an edgelord, we all know how Jaffe's fucking humor is, you know what I mean? He tries to be a little crazy and a little edgy because, you know, he's the guy who made God of War and Twisted Metal and never grew up from that. So I just, oh my god, I can't. He's not edgy. He's just fucking retarded.
Yeah, it's
like that's not something that you fucking joke about, dude. Like I can't.
Yeah, I can't either. So let's keep it going.
She's still angry at me, and as far as I know, she doesn't like me right now. But when we were at Fat Camp, she was willing to put that aside and be an adult about things, and I appreciate that very much because not everyone, Tina and Ken and some others, not everybody else was able to do that. So I appreciate that. That's a rare skill in the LCU. And she also, like after things went.
Good evening, everybody. We are back, and I'm here to cover all the stuff that happened. Mostly on their Saturday stream. I know there's a bunch of streams going on. I know Nerds is going on. I will cover it. So before we move forward, I know that Rewind had their show and Oddly had their show as well. At some point like Saturday night. I watched a little bit here and there, and I didn't really care much. Right. Nothing really interesting was said. It was just their usual stuff they do on their weekend stuff. And a lot of this video is going to be mostly focusing on the whole Roxy, Becky stuff, the future, a number of other things. There were some other related stuff within the Grand Hall of the LCU and all that stuff that did happen kind of today that I will be kind of covering. But that's going to be a Monday video. It's never ending for me. I'll tell you what. It's a never ending work. So we'll get there when we get there. Trust me. There's a lot to cover. A lot to cover.
I think that you have. Wait, do you have the stream in the background? I can hear it.
Yeah, I turned it off. My bad.
Okay, so you can bring the fire out of people. Fat Grim has been pretty chill all this time. You think you can bring some fire out of him?
Okay, well, I heard you talking all that stuff about you wanted to come on here and get our chat to donate and do all this stuff. So do what you do best. Have the floor, sir.
Well, no, I was really just asking. I thought today was supposed to be like a swimsuit episode or something. And I was on Ozzy last night and got a pretty good idea. I'm not sure. When is that happening?
When is that happening?
Monday.
So I did a poll yesterday. I think it was just very last minute. But I think we could do it for the next weekend. I think that would be fun. Bring a little bit more.
Oh, man.
So it's not on Monday?
I mean, I had a little idea. I mean,
So you came to look at us in our bikinis?
nah, I was gonna wear a bikini underneath a bunch of clothes, and then if they donated, I'll take like a piece of clothes off each time.
You wear a bikini? Like 2-piece?
But underneath like a ton of clothes. So if they wanted to see it, they would have to donate.
How much would it be to
Not a bad
donate to
idea.
take off an article of
I don't
clothing?
know. I would probably per article of clothing. I mean, I'm not gonna make it easy. I'll definitely put a couple pieces of clothes on top, but I don't know. We'll probably make it something like $10 to take a piece off. I don't know. Does that sound good, or is that too cheap? Or too,
A lot of people are saying no thanks, you would make nothing. Give PT and Grim a side show, Thunderdome style. Oh shit, that would be great. I think she's you think that you can make content with Fat Grim?
I mean, if you're up here saying that you're going to make money for our chat, just go ahead and do it. So all kudos to you is honestly what I'm going to say to you. That's all I'm going to tell you.
I
Good for
think
you.
no, I think
Come
a
make
lot of
money for our
people
show.
I think a lot
Good
of
idea.
people want you to interact with him. Show what you can do when it comes to
I really don't want to. Like I said, this guy is boring. I don't care. Like I said, and I told him before, I don't care. You're
You
boring.
can make it if you're interesting though. You can make him interesting.
Pigtails. Give me some like actual valuable criticism. Calling me boring isn't valuable. What can I do to be less?
Well, first off, you quit laying there like a fucking super fan laying on a
So
fucking
you're- so
fat
you're
ass
sa-
bed and
So
shit.
you're
Like what the
sitting
fuck?
there- You're
Like, what the
telling me
fuck?
I'm doing the
You're
exact
up on our
same
show
thing you're
wanking
doing.
dick and shit, acting like you're somebody. Like I don't get that.
What? That I'm doing
Why do
what?
I need to give you any what?
Wait,
Bro,
no,
like
no.
I said, I
So
don't
please-
care. I
so
have
wait,
nothing to
Pigtail.
say to you.
Okay,
If you
cool,
don't
cool.
see it,
But
if you
Pigtail,
don't get it, and I gotta give you
valuable
advice, then
criticism
you
to
don't
me.
need to
You're
be here.
valuable criticism
If I
to
need
me.
to give you advice, you don't need to be here. If you
You're
don't know what
valuable-
you want,
you're
you don't know what
valuable
to do, you
criticism.
don't know what you're going to do, you don't need to be here.
You're valuable.
At least go about it
criticism.
that way.
Okay, you're a valuable criticism to me. Okay, first off, I want to make one thing clear. I've never hopped on your show unless either someone invited me on or added me in main chat. But here's the thing. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I'm here and your valuable criticism to me is that you're doing the exact same thing I'm doing, sitting and talking to the stream. That's what I need to do to be less boring. I'm the one that goes on all the other streams. I'm doing jumping jacks. I'm doing all that shit that they're asking me to do.
The same
I
shit
poured-
that Rostov
I poured-
does,
I
the
poured
same
fucking-
shit we've seen
I poured
before.
fucking milk.
No, before we get there, let me just cover some doll stuff because they were kind of in there and they kind of did talk some things, but it wasn't that much, right? Most of dolls of their Saturday stream was just them doing whatever. There is weird tape challenge, and you got this Fat Grim knockoff. You know, I don't know. There's not much I really could say or can be said about this kind of stuff that's going on with the dolls. Like, I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to be like a jackoff. I just think that, in my honest opinion, there's really not much I can personally just cover. Again, maybe the week, maybe like Monday there'll be more things, but we got to get into this whole stuff.
Friends and family, my close friends and family, they all come over, and I get to spend time with them, and it's very, very important to me. I work pretty goddamn hard on all my companies, on everything that I do. I try to work from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. And yes, I sneak away to take Brantley on a date, but I'm kind of a shitty date because I'm still in my phone, even though I'm on my date. And all my friends and family and my beautiful fiance just kind of have to deal with it. They get it, right? I'm so blessed and I have all this, amazing life because I work. So everyone just kind of deals with it. But this work that I do in the month of June is working on my property and working on my party, right? So on these couple days that I have around the 4th of July are my time to not work. It's my time to hang out with my friends and family. And it means something to me. So on the first day that I'm on my vacation, Roxy and Becky started some fucking shit. Some horrible, horrible shit. Started some lies, some rumors, some bullshit. And I didn't deserve any of this. Nothing at all. I didn't deserve any of this at all. And I do want to say we got members coming in. We got gifted members coming in. I'm sure we're going to have donations. Oh, we do have some donations. I'll read all those donations. I do not have TTS set up, but I will read them. And all that money is going to me and Mike. Me and Kid Behind the Camera. Not a penny on this stream or moving forward will go to Becky or Roxy. They are done. I took a screenshot of how much the channel has made. It's made $3,700. And we're halfway through the month, so it looks like they were on pace to make what, $7,000? Pretty fucking weak, right? They're getting paid off of that $3,700 that they made. They are not getting paid for the full month. Where do I begin? I think I have to start talking. I have a ton of clips. Trust me. We got receipts. We got all kinds of receipts we're going to jump into. Do we really have 756 people here right now? I think we're going to get 1,000 viewers. I think we got to get 1,000 viewers. Tell your friends, Keep Stars Live on Milkers. I think we got to start all the way back to Fat Camp. Fat Camp was a lot of work and a lot of effort. And everything went wrong. Everything. But we still managed to have a record-breaking month. A record-breaking month. We still managed to have all of our streams go up, right? And this was the month, Fat Camp was the event where Becky quit. Remember, she quit a week before. A week before Fat Camp even started. She just wasn't there. And then another week, like during Fat Camp or in the middle of Fat Camp, she was only there half a March. Okay? So remember that. Remember that. And all the promises she caused, because it's going to be relevant in the future. Spooky wife Amy, welcome to Cash Cow. What else happened at Fat Camp? Oh, that's right. Roxy was there. Roxy was at Fat Camp. And at Fat Camp, they started calling her Papa Roxy because she kept filming stuff. Filming people in private. She got yelled at for that. She almost got fired for that. She leaked that Becky was coming to Fat Camp. trying to fuck up my stream. All right? My setup. And then Wings did the same thing. You know, I mean, there were negative forces working against me at the fat camp. But I want you to remember this one moment that happened at fat camp, even though Roxy fucked up. You guys remember when Nightmare chased her with the doll? And I saw Roxy in that fetal position.
So, if you're not aware, Keem decided to stream on the Milkers. And I think it was sort of to prove a point. Now, why he streamed on Milkers and not his own channel? Maybe he was trying to build up something. Maybe there's a certain direction he's trying to go with Roxy and Becky leaving. A lot of the early part of the stream was just him covering a lot of like the lies or misinterpretation or a bunch of other stuff. Whether or not you believe Keemstar or not is really up to the individual. And I think, in my honest opinion, trying to paint it as this sort of weird moral grandstanding or some type of moral crusade. I was kind of drunk, I believe, Friday into Saturday night. I did a stream where I was kind of like yelling at the stars, yelling at the heavens, kind of almost saying that like everybody who's going to probably cover this stuff are going to try to put some moral spin onto it. And I think I'm the only one that's trying to come out and just say like, you shouldn't do that. Because these people may not actually care about morality in the same sense that you and I do. Right. And this whole time with Keemstar particularly talking about this, right, the beginning part of Milker and Tim trying to, like, I guess, in his way, out Roxy, which isn't that hard. I did clip some of those stuff from Roxy's stream that we will cover. And then obviously I will go into my own personal final thoughts about this whole thing, this whole situation. But we'll get into it when we get into it.
I let you down. I'm exhausted. I need a break. And I know I'm fired already because I didn't show up for live or Queens. But again, I didn't have my phone. You know, and when Becky...
Her husband, God bless him, who is laying sick in bed, who can't walk, took Roxy's phone. During the time period in which she was supposed to call into live and during Queens. And then after Queens was done, during Rewind, her sick husband said, "Here, you can have your phone back." Wait a minute. Hold up. You don't just stream on your phone. You stream on a fucking PC that I bought you. How is this even a real fucking, like a real thing at all? You don't respect your viewers. You're trying to convince your viewers this was missing, so you couldn't use your PC to call into live or to host fucking Queens. I didn't know this. I don't think, actually, now that I think about it, I don't think you've ever hosted a stream with your phone. Ever. It's always been your fucking PC. This may be the dumbest fucking lie I have ever heard. This is a grotesque, retarded lie. Roxy the retard strikes again.
Just came on the show today and she quit. I knew it was over. I'm not going through this again. I can't. I'm so sorry to let everybody down. I'm so sorry that I did, you know, I failed you. And Akeem, I'm like, thank you so, so much for the opportunity you give me. I don't leave here with ill will and hate. Becky didn't.
Fuck off, Roxy. Thank you, Ziley, for the $20. I appreciate you. Yeah, guys. She doesn't leave here with ill will and hate. She just leaves here trying to tell her fucking fans on this show that I laughed about Becky's uncle dying. She doesn't leave in ill will, but she's trying to convince this audience that she only made money with Savage and Becky. When even though I've proven without a shadow of a doubt that Roxy made more money by herself. No ill will, guys. None.
Forced me to leave. Becky didn't talk me into leaving. I'm the one that left. I'm the one that said I can't do this right now.
Becky didn't talk me into leaving. Okay, wait. Hold on. What just happened? Did I fire you or did you leave? Because now you're saying both. I fired you, now you're leaving. Like, what's going on here?
And I know I can't have a break. I know that's not how it works. Somebody can just take a week or two break. I know that's not how it works here, and I don't expect that. So, Keem, again, thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for the learning experience alone. You gave me part of my dream. The one part was taking care of people. My other dream was to entertain, and you gave me that. And for that, I will forever be grateful to both of you. Boogie said it today, like I said, that I don't have it in me anymore. Maybe I don't. So I'm sorry I let you down. I'm sorry that I'm fired. I'm sorry for everything. And I just hope going forward that the LCU succeeds. Thank you so much for the opportunity and for the supporters. Thank you for the kind, caring prayers for my family when I needed it. I love you guys. And I hope it's not the end. But right now, I just had to take a break.
So sad. Guys, should we feel sad about Roxy? Who just blatantly lied to her fans on her personal channel and to the Milker fans? Should we feel sorry for her?
And he also did cover that weird video that Roxy did that I think even I cover. Do I think, is Roxy being kind of sincere throughout that whole thing? I don't think so. I don't personally believe to some extent that maybe she is being kind of sincere, but like it's kind of hard to take her serious given that what she's notorious for and outing and all this stuff. Right? And Keem gave kind of the weird propositions where he said that, like, there is a way back for these people if they wanted to, right? There is a way back, for them to rejoin the LCU if they want to. And meanwhile, I'm like, why? Like, I was a little dumbfounded, but maybe it's because he just wants to see if they would. And we're not sure, right? We're not really sure if they're gonna, like, I guess, in their own way, take the bait. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, right? You can't really know how certain people think, how certain people are gonna act, right? But it is kind of interesting, and I think for a lot of people, him saying that kind of paints that maybe a lot of it is kind of fake. And you kind of really, from watching a lot of the LCU stuff, but not really LCU, but just watching a whole lot of internet stuff, because everything on the internet is heavily over dramatic side for the sake of content and viewership. Any sense of truth that you may want to find is somewhere in the middle. Or maybe not even in the middle at all, may not even exist, and it's just people, just them painting a bad situation and trying to color it up. But let's move on.
The comments and ask, answer them as I'm going. So why does there need to be a video response? He told me to respond to it, so I'm going to watch it live and respond to it. And then this is it. After this today, I do not want to talk about the LCU. I don't want to bring their name up. He's telling me that. I don't even know. Like, he's telling me in my text message, we'll talk after I respond to the video. I don't know what's going to happen in here. I have no idea what I'm even going to say. Just watch the live and then respond to the chat. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Go through?
So I'm not going to respond or read the comments now. I'm just going to watch and then give my opinion, and then I'll respond to the comments.
Everything that took place, just so we can all be on the same page, because there's been some slander and some defamation on my motherfucking name, and I don't like it.
If he feels that, like if he's saying that I slandered and defamed him, I will apologize. I will. I want to see what he has to say in here. If I slandered him in any way, I am truly sorry, but I'll find out now.
I don't. Now, this might seem like petty little shit, but it's not to me.
It's not petty shit. It's really not. It's not petty shit to me either, because so many people think that I quit just because Becky quit. Becky has nothing to do with why I left Milkers yesterday. Becky as a person herself has nothing to do with why I left. If it was any other host that left me again after I just got a host back, that is what I'm saying, why I left Milkers. Not because of Becky. Becky didn't even talk to me about that.
I'm taking this one a little personal because every year in June, I need time off. This is like my yearly vacation where I get ready and get my property prepared to host my friends and family.
Sassy telling you, yeah, defamation and slander. Like, I would really like to know how I defamed him and slandered him, because if I did, then I will definitely take it back. If it's like defamation and slander is if I'm saying something against somebody that is not true and I'm making them.
So most of Roxy's stream was just kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, because there's a lot of like some of it was just her looping, some of her oh my god, I can't even think for a second. Some of it was her just trying to, I guess, just get to the whole video, but like she kept stopping every minute. And I know, and I know for a fact that yes, like it's her video, it's her stream. She can do however she wants. At the same time, it was just constantly stopping, constantly, like not getting through anything. And I know a lot of streamers, a lot of people do this. They have a bad tendency, but sometimes you just gotta let the content go. Sometimes you gotta let it flow, right? If you're covering something like this, because if you keep, in my honest opinion, if you keep, how can I say? If you keep letting this, if you keep stopping every second, you're just slowing the video down. Maybe I would say that, given that this is her first true, I would say it's her first true stream doing it by herself. That's how I would say it. It's her first true stream doing it by herself. And I could get that, and I understand all of that, but it's like, damn, like you could have hurried this up. Let's move on.
It is just honestly what it is. I don't even,
Okay, I didn't know what I need to apologize for.
What's this? If I can get the transcripts here.
I'm okay with you, won't do it, no big deal. People know to Google Becky Boop. It's, people actually want to find me, they will. As far as what you need me to say, I do feel that you laughed at me when I was telling you about my uncle dying and that this was serious and this was a real mental health issue. And you guys were just joking. But it's not something I need to explain to anybody or say again. It doesn't matter.
See, and again, how did I lie when she's even telling her again?
Now, I don't know if you can hear that or not, right? It's to the bottom of the phone. Long story short, does she sound like she's losing her mind? Doesn't sound like it to me. I don't know why.
Just because something doesn't sound like it to you, King, doesn't mean that it's not happening. Just because we don't give you the satisfaction, well, at least let me speak for myself. Just because I didn't give you the satisfaction of you hearing me fucking losing my shit and losing my mind, doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you didn't get to fucking hear it doesn't mean it didn't happen for me, okay?
It's so low. Or excuse me, does it sound like I laughed at her dead uncle is what I'm trying to say? Doesn't sound like it to me. She also says, if anybody asks why I left, my answer will be, I just decided it was time to move on from the LCU. And there's some other bullshit in here. Anyhow, look. At the end of the day, these people are full of shit. Completely full of shit. They've lied. They've manipulated. They've disrespected their fucking audience. They're trying to garner sympathy like they're some fucking victims and the big bad Keemstar and the big bad LCU is after them.
No, I was going to move on and never talk about you again. You're the one that sat there and said, you need to watch that 2-hour video and you need to correct your lies and your accusations and your whatever, your defamation. Let me know what I need to correct. And if I am wrong, I will correct it.
And
he told me, you make sure you watch the whole 2-hour video, Roxy. He didn't say, here goes a timestamp. This is what you lied about.
She's talking calm as day. in that voice message she's sending me. But she's having a mental health crisis. What? None of it makes any fucking sense.
And you got to remember, it's hours later that after we, people talk, you calm down. That was almost 3 hours later after I've had a friggin' freak out and my husband took my phone. That was hours later. Yes, I calmed down a little bit.
So this is what you guys are going to do. All right. For one, you're both banned off the Discord and you're both fired, and you will get your last paycheck up until yesterday. Yesterday was the last day you worked. Okay. Even though Becky didn't work yesterday, but whatever, I'll pay for the day. I don't care. Yesterday, I took screenshots of queens and milkers to know how much money is being made on those shows and what to pay you. You're not getting paid for the full month of June. Go fuck yourself. For Becky, your path back is going to be near impossible. So I'll save that for the end. For Roxy, all right, you're going to admit to everything you did wrong, and I'm not going to tell you what to say. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. You're going to have to upload a video to your personal channel, admitting to all the lies, all the bullshit. And primarily, the one thing I will tell you is you're going to fucking tell your audience and your fucking fans that you told the Milker fans what Becky told you without talking to me.
I just sat there and said it. I told you guys exactly what Becky told me. Not what Keem told me, not what Rastoff told me, not what Boogie told me. Yes, I did tell you guys what Becky told me. I didn't lie and say, oh my God, Becky, I'm lying, guys, or I didn't lie about it. Maybe I should have went to Keem, but I didn't think even that it was a big deal. Becky also confirmed. Yes, I told you people that were watching what Becky told me. Yes, I did do that. If I was wrong, I apologize. I'm sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said it. Maybe I should have let Becky say it. Yes, I did do that. Yes, I did.
The fact that you went and told the Milker fans that I laughed at her dead uncle, bitch, you don't know. You weren't in the fucking call. And the fact that you didn't even talk to me before you spread that shit to your audience is fucking insane. So you're going to do that. And then we'll have a conversation about a possible path back. All right. You're going to admit to all these lies that you made more money with Savage and that you made more money with Becky. All lies.
Okay. If they're all lies, I need to see the numbers. Okay. If they're all lies, I didn't sit there and say, okay, let me just lie about it, because I know that's stupid. Like, I can't get away with the lie if there's papers right there. What I seen every single day, every day at the end, it tells us how much money we make. I will go back right now. Go back on Playboard and look from May 15th to June 15th. You can see the very little amount of numbers we made. That's what I was going by. That's what I was talking about.
Now, one of the biggest thing we need to talk about, and I think this is sort of in my final takes, is this whole thing whether or not did Keem, Boogie, and Rasta really laughed at Becky about her dying uncle, that she's not really that close and it's more of a distant relatives. The answer is, I don't know. Would it be surprising that she lied? 100%. It wouldn't be surprising. But would it be surprising they laughed at it? 100%. And I think that's something people have to look at. You have somebody who's a notorious liar, and you have someone else who's just known to be kind of messed up. I mean, particularly Boogie, who is, isn't afraid to hit below the belt. But, people want to play this sort of, I guess they want to be this moral crusader of what's right and what's wrong, and really that's dumb. Should have Roxy just questioned it and thought to herself, maybe let me ask, right? Like, yeah, Boogie and Rassop are not the most reliable witness, but at the same time, given Becky, who has a history of lying, is it any better? So, I think that's something you have to look at when you look at both their people's history. I mean, like, Boogie's messed up, but he's honest and he's not afraid. Becky's messed up, but she doesn't want to admit she's messed up. Or she's messed up as in, like, she's a little screw in the head. And I think you have two sides of the spectrum of people who support or don't support. And I think that there's more in depth. You have people who support the LCU and you have people who don't. But, like, the reasoning is very much down to factionalism. And again, maybe I'm being too real political and looking at it way too real political about it all. And maybe that's not the right way to view it. At the same time, all these people are a bunch of lolcow on the internet that may get some level of success for a bit of period of time. Yeah, Becky and Roxy and those clan of people, they'll get viewerships for the next couple days, weeks, if they move, if they can just do the work, but if they don't, they don't. Right? Yeah, Roxy got like 500 viewership, but so did like all other people who left, and then look what happened to them. You know, only one I could think about fan who have high viewership, but like, first off, in the case of Grace has always been somebody that people had an interest in because he's with the lolcow, and Savage focused in drama to begin with. But Savage numbers are not really as high compared to, let's say, Grace. But Grace's numbers that we speak are not even at the highest as well. So, you know, in the end of the day, right, it's their viewership may drop, and Becky's viewership may drop down. I mean, like, look at Lolcow Madhouse. They had a good viewership for a good couple of days, and then now they're like barely even reaching 200 viewers. Bunny may says you may even go back to cam girl stuff like that. I just see that what it is that Becky saw an opportunity to leave and she wanted to leave, not because of the money wasn't good, but I think she wanted to do her own thing because she wanted a show for the longest time. But at the same time, like, are people gonna actively want, like, am I gonna watch her? I probably will, because I may just end up detracting that whole area because it'd be interesting content to be talked about. It'll just be interesting. I get that would be more viewership for me to grow out of, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see how everything's gonna play out. Till next time, have a good one.